welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell, Youth Services Director at the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. Before I get started, I want to thank TV47 for what they do to help us put our program on each week and to let the community know about events happening and events at the library and events in town and different programs going on. Today is a program we've been associated with for several years. It's the HIPPY program through SAFE. Joining me is Sherrie Jacobs and Alexis Owens. Sherrie works with HIPPY, and then Alexis is a parent who's here to tell her story of their children being involved with HIPPY. Thank you, ladies, for being here today.
Good morning, Mandy. Thank you for having us.
I'm glad you're here. I always have Pam or Becky or someone on every year to talk about your program because you're just getting started. I mean, just about to get started in your program now. But before we tell about the program, tell me about yourself, Sherrie. You work with SAFE, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a parent educator for the HIPPY program. I have been there for 8 years, and we really enjoy working with our children and our families. That's a really special thing for us.
Great. And Alexis, you don't work with SAFE, but you are a parent, and you are here to tell about the program. But tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Alexis Owens. My son Caleb Owens has been with the program for a year now, and it's a really great program to be in, to have your child in.
Great. Well, I'm glad you ladies were able to join us. First of all, what does HIPPY stand for?
HIPPY stands for Home Instruction of Parents for Preschool Youngsters.
Great. And so it's for parents as well as children. Is that
yes,
correct?
ma'am. We go in home and work with our parents. We deliver a curriculum every week, and it's a 30-week process. We have 30 lessons that we utilize. And we train the parent how to work with the child for continued school success.
That's wonderful. And this is for children, what ages?
It's for actually 2, 3, and 4-year-olds. We're kicking off a new program this year called Little Learners. And it's for our 2-year-olds. We're taking a limited number to start with till we get our program kicked off. But if you have a 3 and 4-year-old, we will welcome you.
Great. You have enough twos this year, but you're just getting started with it.
Yes.
That is great. So it's for 2, 3, and 4-year-olds. Is there a cost for that?
No, HIPPY is absolutely free. There are approximately 8 books that come with our curriculum, and per child, per age group, and then we have 30 lessons that we deliver. One per week. We run from like maybe mid-September through the end of June. So, yeah.
That's great. Now, just to explain it, I mean, a little bit more from what you said, it's for 2, 3, and 4-year-olds, and it's lessons to help them get ready for school or to get ready to learn, I think.
It is. We, the parent works with the child 10 to 15 minutes a day, I would say, Alexis. 5 days a week. It's laid out into the domains and it is numbered. It also has the days of the week on the top. So it's a very structured lesson. And the parent gets to see those light bulbs go off and see their children start to learn.
Wonderful. Well, Alexis, how many years have you done this?
I've been with HIPPY for a year now.
Great. And your little boy?
Yes, ma'am.
He's in school now,
is
that right?
Yes, ma'am. He just started pre-K.
Oh, right. Yes, that's awesome.
It is.
Well, tell us about the lessons. I mean, the parent educator comes to your house, right? And what do y'all do together?
Well, Miss Sherrie had the pleasure of having her. Once she gets there, we all sit at the table. We always have this little lesson plan. It's broke down in section with the literacy, math, science, motor, and language. Miss Sherrie, she always make it fun for Caleb. She make it as a game to keep him focused. And this is how he does. He's traced. He learned how to trace. He learned his letters. He learned his different shapes as well.
Good.
And that's thanks to Miss Sherrie.
Well, thank you.
And me as well.
Now, I know
you work really hard.
Yes,
that's great. Now, I know some people may think Sherrie comes and does the lessons with your child all the time. No, she comes one time.
Yes, ma'am.
And goes over what you're going to do during the week.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, all right. That's neat. 10 to 15 minutes a day.
10 to 15 minutes a day.
And I like what you said. I was looking on there. It covers the different domains.
Yes, ma'am.
So we've got literacy, which is just letters.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds, reading books.
Story comprehension.
Story comprehension. Math. And at the age of 2 and 3 and 4, you're just counting.
Counting, yes, ma'am.
Learning to count, learning your numbers, learning to write them later on.
Science.
What kind of things do you do in science?
Science, that's his favorite. You do different experiments with science. He loves the Play-Doh one. He loves to make his own Play-Doh with the science.
Oh, wow.
Yes, ma'am. So it gives you different activities to do with your child. It's really fun.
How fun. And just a few minutes a day, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have to go, does it come with special things for science? Do you have to have any expensive equipment or anything like that?
You can go straight to your local Dollar Tree and get it. Or you might have the food coloring and the flour at home.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I do. That's one thing I liked about HIPPY, what you said, is it doesn't cost a lot. I mean, you may have to go buy an apple or something is what I
Yes, ma'am.
But you just use the things you have at home, which is great. That's awesome. So that was his favorite.
That's his favorite. He loves it.
Good, good. And after science was?
Motor.
Motor. Now, what is that?
That's another one of his favorites. It teach you how to jump, skip, stand on one foot.
And that sounds kind of funny, but really, those are balance skills.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I have tried to teach kids to skip, and it's hard. But how fun if you've already done it and made a game out of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And even using your hands to catch. That all. I used to be a kindergarten teacher. I'm sorry. That's all using those large motor skills, and then you get to the fine motor skills, which help you write and draw and color and just manipulate things.
Yes, ma'am.
That is so. So it was really like a game. I bet he enjoyed it.
He loves it. Yes, ma'am.
Right. And the last one
would be language.
Language. What is that?
It helps him with his speech, how to use correct English words.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
yeah. How to speak new words, learning the meanings of, or just reading. Just expanding your vocabulary. I think.
His vocabulary is pretty big now.
Oh, great. That is awesome. Listen, we're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Sherrie and Alexis.
Hot under the collar because your basement is full of water? Call a local company you can trust. Ox Foundation Solutions. We use the most advanced water management system to stop water from invading your basement for good. Things feeling a little uneven at home? Ox Foundation Solutions will fix your uneven concrete sidewalk, driveway, or basement in no time. Ox Foundation Solutions has the best plan to keep your home safe. If you are experiencing any issues with your sidewalks, basement, crawl space, or foundation, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Silicaga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room, to surgery, to cancer treatment, to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Silicaga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Marble City Pharmacy in Silicaga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Hello and welcome back to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell and I'm talking with Sherrie Jacobs and Alexis Owens. We're talking about the HIPPY program, Home Instruction for Parents of Preschool Youngsters. I got to say that out loud. It is a wonderful program. We are so blessed to work with y'all and have for several years. Elaine did it before I did. We provide the Word of the Week. And what is Word of the Week? And I'll tell them our part in it.
Wow Word of the Week is a word that we take in home every week, and it has a list of books with call numbers on the underneath that you can take it to the library to visit Miss Mandy and the wonderful ladies, or in other areas like
in other libraries.
Right. Yes. If you're participating in Childersburg or Lincoln or Talladega, you can take it to your local library, and choose those books and talk about that word, which helps increase vocabulary for our little ones greatly.
We did talk about this. Tina, one of your parent educators, came to the story time I do at the library and talked to the parents, and it's not necessarily, you don't have to learn to spell the word caterpillar or anything, but you're learning what a caterpillar is, and we choose books for word. You give us the word, we choose books that we have that word in the title and in the book. So we'll pull caterpillar books or cat or dog or whatever, put them in a certain place at the library, and we love for you to come check them out. So parents can come get them and read them, and the children become familiar with the word, how to say it, maybe recognize it if it's a smaller word. You know, maybe that's not necessarily the goal, but just to learn the word, increase their vocabulary. So we really enjoy that, enjoy seeing your kids come in too.
Right, thank you. We enjoy the fact that they get to do this and increase their literacy.
Well, good.
And our wonderful HIPPY partners at the library, we're so thankful for y'all.
Well, thank you very much. We are glad to work. We're all about children learning to read and learning to do well in school. That's what we like to do too. So it's great. We're a great partnership. Well, we've already talked about it's 30 weeks, just a few minutes a day. What materials are provided when you sign up? What's provided for?
When we come in home, our first visit, we bring your supply box with your crayons and pencils and scissors, glue, everything that you need to participate.
Yes.
And then we also provide yarn and paper for body tracing and several different things. Most of the items that are needed, you already have in your home. You can just go to your kitchen and pull them out of your cabinet or your craft that you already have. And then we, of course, bring the lessons. There's 30 of those.
Right.
We also have, Alexis had pulled it out, we bring enrichment every week that works on different skills and different letters. And then we have about, I think, 8 books that goes along with each 30 set of curriculum.
Now, are the books yours to keep?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes,
so you're starting your own little home library
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
That's
He has a collection.
That's great. I know your little boy enjoyed it every
did.
week. Really
He
have fun.
does.
How do you find time to work this into your day? And I know that varies with people. How'd you work that into your schedule?
Honestly, it's not really hard because I watch Miss Sherrie teach Caleb, and she makes this as a game, so
Yeah.
when we do the lesson, he thinks we playing a game. Little do he know he's learning.
That is the best way to learn.
I will tell you, Caleb was home, so he sat with us a lot. So, you know, we would do it fun between me and her. But when we go in the home, we actually work with the parent and not the child. That is something that we do. But yes, he participated, and he was very excited, and that motivated him a little more to do his HIPPY for his mom every week.
And that is great because not everyone knows how to work with small children.
Right.
If you have never had children before or never worked with children, and we all have different skills. Somebody has to teach all of us how to do that. So that's wonderful. So it's as much for the parent as the child.
Yes, definitely.
That is great. And how nice to hand you lesson plans. I've written many lesson plans. How nice to hand you some to know what, because I know I might not have thought about the fact that they need to learn to skip or bounce a ball or things like that. You know, we're also focused on, we got to learn our letters and our numbers and we got to learn to read and write, but there's so much more.
Yes, ma'am.
You talked about coughing into your elbow.
Right, coughing into our elbow. We learn how to blow our nose, wash our hands, brush our teeth, and comb our hair. We cover all of the hygiene things that need to be covered before they start school.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And you said you found your son was ready he's in pre-K.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. How do you think, this is kind of a broad question, how did this program make a difference in his life, you think?
I've seen a difference with Caleb. He was really shy. He didn't like to go around too many people, but once we did the HIPPY program and he got to play with the other kids that was in the group, pre-K was a breeze for him. He loves it.
That's wonderful.
Yes,
Well, that does lead me into, y'all have group meetings also, don't
Yes,
you?
ma'am.
What, so many times a year? Or?
We have one a month during the HIPPY season that we have open. We're actually going to have our first one the first week in October this time. And then we will have one a month that is usually themed towards something that is going on in the month, but it always includes story time and a craft, and we usually do music. There's some neat things. Sometimes we do science experiments and different things. We have a Christmas party in December to celebrate for our families, and then we have our end of the year picnic that we pass out our medals and certificates and give them their folders from the work that they've completed all year long.
Oh, wonderful.
So, and they're really fun. We have a really good time.
Wow, I know the kids are so proud at the end of the year to get their certificates or things they get. That's great. Now, what if your child is already in daycare or something? Can they still participate?
Of course they can, because this is an in-home program and it's geared toward the parent. So we work unconventional hours and find time to go in home and work with you. The child does not have to be present when we come to see you, because it is for you. And daycare or pre-K attendance is quite fine.
Great, great. And it's not like they're already getting it at school. I mean, the schools do a great job of teaching all these things too, but there's nothing like your mom or your dad or somebody.
A parent is the child's first teacher.
Absolutely, that's right. What if mom is not available? Maybe grandmother is the babysitter or an aunt or somebody. Can they do the program with them?
Yes, they can. Alexis's mom, she works, so Alexis's mom meets with me often, and we will role play the lesson between the two of us also. So if someone else needs to step up and help because you're at work, if the grandmother's keeping the child during the day or the aunt, that family member can sign that child up and do that lesson with them.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you had your mom to help too.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and that helps her. How nice for a grandmother to be able to do that, to learn exactly what their grandchild is doing, be able to have some fun activities with them.
Yes, ma'am, it's their bonding time.
Oh, their bonding time. That is so sweet. That's great. That's great. So you think it's made a real difference in him starting school?
Yes, ma'am,
That's
it has.
great.
Yes,
Learning
ma'am.
to blow your nose and those type things, and maybe write your name too, and those are wonderful things, learning your letters and numbers, but just to be kind of ready for a little bit of structure. I know home is not like school, and it's not supposed to be, but during this few minutes that you work with Caleb, during part of the lesson, I'm sure you have to sit together.
Yes, ma'am.
And focus and trace and write. I know the whole time, it's not sitting down for 15 minutes every time, because if you're doing science experiments or skipping or bouncing balls and things like that. But that's nice too for them to learn that little structure.
Oh, and that helps so much when they start kindergarten, because they already have that afternoon time or that morning time in place that they sit with you to do their homework and different things. So it's a lot easier for them to make that adjustment to having to sit in the afternoon and do their homework.
That's great. The kindergarten and pre-K teachers are so grateful, I bet. Have you tracked children a little bit that have been through the program? I know HIPPY has been around for years. 20 or plus, more years.
Here, it has been here for 20 plus years, I think. But yes, there's a longitudinal study that is done through SAFE, and they track through the second grade, and what they're doing is checking progress for children to see if they have met the milestones, and HIPPY is actually helping. And there's a whole list that Patsy and Miss Margaret at SAFE have that have proven time and time again that HIPPY actually helps in that early learning process.
That is great, because if someone signs up, they do want to know, does it work? Have you seen a difference? And I bet the teachers can see a difference too.
They can. They can actually tell which children were in the HIPPY program. If they're familiar with it and you say something to them about it or whatever, they'll tell you, I've already noticed that child participated in another program.
That's wonderful. So a lot of great things. I know you sent him to school very prepared, and it makes you rest a lot easier.
Yes, ma'am, it does.
That's great. Well, we're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Sherrie and Alexis.
Hot under the collar because your basement is full of water? Call a local company you can trust. Ox Foundation Solutions. We use the most advanced water management system to stop water from invading your basement for good. Things feeling a little uneven at home? Ox Foundation Solutions will fix your uneven concrete sidewalk, driveway, or basement in no time. Ox Foundation Solutions has the best plan to keep your home safe. If you are experiencing any issues with your sidewalks, basement, crawl space, or foundation, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Silicaga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Silicaga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Marble City Pharmacy in Silicaga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell. I'm talking with Sherrie Jacobs from HIPPY with the HIPPY program with Safe Family Services, and Alexis Owens, who is a parent of a child who's been through the program with HIPPY. We haven't even said how can people sign up? How do you do that? I need
Sign
to
up is simple. You call SAFE at 245-4343 and ask to speak to the HIPPY department. Pam Sims and Becky Everson is usually in the office. They would be glad to fill your application out over the phone. It's a simple process, takes about 5 minutes, and we would love for everyone to call.
Right. It's not too late because you're starting in mid-September.
We're starting mid-September, and we are just now finishing up recruiting and starting our testing for the year.
Right. And you do a pre-test with the kids and then a test at the end to see what they've learned, I think, which is great. That's awesome.
We do. We do a pre and post, and Alexis will tell you we have a paper that we fill out and bring in home for them, and they get to see how their child scored on their letters, their numbers, their shapes, and colors and different things, so they know what areas to work in.
Great.
And then we test again at the end of the year so you can see the improvement and compare the two and know where you still have work left to do.
That is nice. I know it was nice to see Sherrie every week and communicate about your son.
Yes, ma'am.
To be able to make sure you're on track and, you know, maybe, I don't know, but if he's having difficulty here or he's doing really well here, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure she was a lot of help to guide you what to do. Which first child you don't know, I can tell you, but you don't know, you know. So that's great. That's great. And you've done this for several years. So
Yes, ma'am.
How about your own children? Did they go through this? Didn't you say?
Yes, my 13-year-old actually went through the HIPPY program. Tina Harris was my parent educator. I love Miss Tina. And then when I started with the HIPPY program, I actually got to be my own child's parent educator for her 5-year-old year, which was you know, a real experience to be able to take over and help her with that process. So
I think that's so nice because I've talked to you and Tina and Pam and Becky, and I'm not sure about Tina. Does she have a child in HIPPY? Or?
Yes, her children did HIPPY. Also, Becky Cleveland's children did HIPPY. Every one of us were a parent before we were parent educator.
Oh, so you had a child to go through the program, and now you're teaching other parents, and you've had the real experience. You've been in her shoes,
and that helps us understand our parents so much better because we know where they're at, we know where they're coming from, and we know how, you know, to help them. So.
And that also means you really believe in the program.
We do.
Which is great. I think that's awesome. That's awesome. So they can just sign up just by calling HIPPY, and there's a pre-test, no problem. Now, and we'll go over again, is there a cost for this?
Nope, it's absolutely free, and we bring all the materials that you need in home.
the crayons, the pencils, the
Scissors,
paper,
glue,
scissors, glue.
yes, hole punch. I mean, if you need
Yeah.
it, we bring it.
All in your own
So-
little school box.
All in their own little school box. Yes.
I have to say, I had one parent who signed her little girl up, and she has older children, and she said, this will be nice, this will be just for her little girl. She'll feel like she's in big school like her brothers and sisters, so she'll feel like she's doing her own homework.
Right.
So that's great, makes them feel special.
I had a new parent call me the other day, and she'll be starting mid-September, and that was one of her things. When are you coming? Come on. She wants her box. She wants to go to school, you know, like her brothers and sisters. And I keep telling her that she's going to get it. She's going to get it. And I said, we just tell her, hold on a couple more weeks. We'll be there.
That's great. That's great. Well, I know you brought like a sample lesson. Kind of go over what you might do if you came to Alexis's home.
Okay. When we come in, we go over our tips on the front and talk about it and the activities that you'll be learning for the week. And then we start at week 1 and we talk about what your child will learn from this activity. So it'll tell you that we're working on auditory memory, story comprehension, dramatic play, vocabulary, and language skills. And then we gather our materials that we need, which we bring our own props in home for the first, so they'll see kind of what we need on each lesson. And then it'll tell you what to do. And then I would be the parent and Alexis would be the child, and I'd say, today I'm going to read the book In the Cow's Backyard to you again. It's time for you to act out the story as I read it. And then we will walk through it and go through. So when it's her turn to work with Caleb, she already has that down pat. She has her experience, and we're able to make that bond between the two of us that helps him further himself in his school success.
That's great. Well, that's fun. So you get to see an actual lesson.
Yes, ma'am.
And participate in one.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great.
We take turns also. When we get to a certain point, she gets to be the parent and then practice on me, and that way she gets her comfortableness down pat.
That's great.
Before she starts with him. Yes.
That is wonderful. Getting to role play something is awesome. It's a great way to learn. It's a great way to learn. Do you find that this helps parents become more involved in their schools and once their children get in school? I know you've had one in school for just about 3 weeks. But
yes, because it holds them accountable for their homework. This has to be completed when we go back to check. We can't leave a new lesson with them, role play a new lesson until they have completed this. So this holds them accountable on every week's homework. And then we look through here and take a page from here to take with us as proof that it's done. That's where the folder comes into play at the end. And then we have group meetings and other things that kind of help them get used to going to school functions and keeping up with your child's, tracking your child's success through the testing scores and things. So yes, we set that early bar for them.
so when Caleb started school, when he brings home work, I bet you kind of know what to ask him about or what to look for because you're kind of familiar with the kind of things.
I'm used to it now.
That's great. He can share that with you, and you know what he's learning, and if he needs a little more help or something like that.
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. Now, I bet at your group meetings too, the parents enjoy getting together.
Oh yes, I do.
To talk.
I love it.
It's nothing like sharing with people going through the same thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, great. I just appreciate you ladies being here so much today. We've got just a few seconds left. We'll just tell, if you want to sign up for HIPPY, it's for ages 2, 3, and 4. All your 2-year-olds are full right now, but keep that in mind for next year.
Right.
And you call SAFE, and they will get you signed up, and there's no cost. It's a very awesome program. So.
Yep, come see us.
Great. Thank you, ladies, for joining me so much today.
Thank you for having us,
Great.
Mandy.
Y'all have a great year.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Library Connection.